Life is like a game of cards. I don't know how to play cards. That bit of wisdom is from an old mafia member who is loyal to the familia, but never really got very far. Because how often is the only thing keeping us from winning the fact that we don't know how to play the game? If you've ever felt that way about the speaking game, don't raise your hand. See, you're in very good company. Even the most successful speakers feel that way sometimes. And the next 15 minutes is all about changing that. We won't be learning how to play cards. You should not trust me to teach you. But you will discover how an ace that you already have up your sleeve can help you win the game of speaking. If you're here to win this speaking game, would you please give me a thumbs up? Fantastic. Here's the good news. If you are here tonight, you already have that ace up your sleeve. You might not know about it. You might not be using it to the full, but you do have it. So why an ace? The recovering academic in me has a really strong need to tell you that the word ace has its roots in Latin. In Latin, there was a word us, spelled A-S, and us meant a unit, a whole, or even simply one. And so this word came into our playing cards. And we know that, or at least I hear, because I don't know how to play cards either. We hear that in cards, an ace can give you 1 point or 11, and that can give you a winning hand. So the word ace then also came into the language in other ways, because we know that an ace could mean the person who does something well. So it's a noun. We can use it as a verb, like these speaker factor contestants who aced it, right? Can we please give them another hand? And then we can use it as an adjective. For example, an ace presenter. Now, an ace speaker is somebody that you might want to have on your squad, and people would love to have them speaking for them. But now the question is, if we've got a noun, a verb, and an adjective, that's almost a full house, right? The only thing needed now is the dreaded acronym. We'll be taking care of that in a moment. So that acronym, ACE, is for the professional speaking advantage that is available to you right now. The advantage that can make a public speaker, a professional speaker, or a great speaker, a well-paid speaker. If that's what you're in the game for, let's go unpack that dreaded acronym. So the A is for authority. The authority of the highest local and regional and global international accreditation in the field. Imagine if you can step out into the world with that endorsement, what credibility that would add to you. As a speaker, that's a great asset, right? So if global authority is what you would like for your speaking business, please type in the chat an A for authority. Let's take a look. A for authority in the chat. Let's see who would like authority. Michael is a yes. Yoka, A, fantastic. Tim, A, Tyron, fantastic. Rosaria, wonderful. A for authority. Next up comes the C. The C is for cultivation. Cultivation of the leading best practices in speaking, from developing and delivering better speeches to impeccable professionalism and sound, profitable business practices, because speaking is a business when it works. So if cultivation of the best speaking practice will be an asset to you, please type a C in the chat. That's C for Cultivation. C, C, C. Great, Tyron. Michael, thank you. C, yes. Tim. C, 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 yes. I see you. Very, very nice there in the chat. So there's your ACE. Thank you, Kim and Yoka. What about E? Now, E is for ethics. That is the guarantee that as a speaker, you are committed to the very highest standards of integrity and that you can be held to those standards. Imagine what speaking clients, the event planners, the corporates, the people who can book you are expecting from speakers. How do they feel when they don't know what they're going to get? And how much more confident would they feel to book you if they knew that because they are booking you, they are getting a certain standard of impeccable integrity? If ethics would give you confidence and credibility as a speaker. What are you typing in the chat? Well, it's an E for ethics. Let's take a look. There's E. Thank you, Henny. And Henny's got that puzzle piece for us. It's the E. Michael, thank you very much. Tyron, great. E. So we have A for authority at a global level. C for cultivation of a fantastic professional speaking business. And E for ethics at the highest possible standard. That's the ace up your sleeve. But now, I said that you already have that ace up your sleeve. How so? Well, that's because right now you are in a virtual chapter meeting of the Professional Speakers Association of Southern Africa. And virtual chapter meetings are a really great place to get started to learn about professional speaking. If it's your first time, as many of you have said it is, a big, big, warm welcome to you. You know that you are welcome to attend a PSASA virtual chapter meeting anytime. There's one every month, and the only commitment you need is 1 hour and your registration. You don't need to pay, you don't need to do anything fancy. If you wish, you don't even need to follow up, but of course, you get a lot more when you do. So the first time that I attended a PSASA virtual chapter meeting, it was that great historic time that we all lived through, the great lockdown of 2020. I thought it was really interesting, and I kept on visiting virtual chapter meetings from time to time, and I didn't join the PSASA. Why? I had a very good reason. To me, it looked like membership to an organization that is so professional would demand the level of commitment that I would usually reserve for, say, secret societies or cults. And with all those hotshot professional speakers around, I was pretty sure that there is no way that the membership fees would be anywhere near anything I could even think of affording. So I just kept attending virtual chapter meetings for 3 years until I realized what I was missing. Because you see, there's a whole lot more to professional speaking than tips, tools, and tricks. Because in these virtual chapter meetings, I was getting the wow of professional speaking. I just wasn't really getting anywhere with the how of building a professional speaking business. Because there was this ace up my sleeve, just within reach, but I couldn't actually get it without joining the PSASA. So what makes the difference between having that ace in your reach and actually getting to use it as a member of a professional speakers association? Well, let's dive a little bit deeper into that ace. So the first A is for authority, and there's a whole lot of meaning behind that. Because the PSASA is not only the highest professional speaking body in South Africa, but in Southern Africa, and arguably even on the African continent. But there's more than that. because the PSASA is one of 17 and now 18 members of the Global Speakers Federation, and we maintain a full membership accreditation there. This is the most credible stamp of endorsement a professional speaker can have on this planet, and possibly beyond, because on other planets they don't have speakers, they use telepathy. So we have this on really, really good authority, that this is serious authority. As a member of the PSASA, you have access to that accreditation, you have access to awards, and even to accolades. For example, you can earn the Certified Speaking Professional designation, or CSP. It's acknowledged around the world as the highest acknowledgement of a speaker, and some call it like a PhD in speaking. Long-standing members who serve in the speaking community and society at large can also qualify for awards inside the association and later even in the Global Speakers Federation. And even as a brand new member of the PSASA, you get your very own speaker profile page on the PSASA website. That demonstrates your local and your international endorsement as a member of a professional speakers association. And from day one, it could potentially even bring you opportunities. That's not to mention that as a member of the PSASA, you join Global Speakers Federation member societies around the world. So today we have with us Anthony Steers. Notice the telephone assassin sitting there in the UK behind his beautiful red telephone box. He's joining us from abroad. Why? Because, well, we are a global association, part of the Global Speakers Federation that connects to the PSA UK and Ireland. So you have family around the world. And then, on the subject of that family, you might have heard that this coming Thursday is a very special day. It's the 14th of March, making it 314 or 3.14. And the math nerds among you will, of course, realize that that is pi. This pi has very, very special significance in the speaking community because not only is it the mathematical formula, but as we think about pi, there's this idea that speakers must be a really cutthroat community who compete against each other. Not so. The 14th of March is known as Pi Day for mathematicians, but in the speaking community, we call it Professional Speaker Celebration Day, because the founder of the PSA or the NSA in the United States, which later branched out across the world, was Cavett Robert, and he said, "Don't fight for little pieces of a small pie. Grow the pie." So this community of speakers around the world is all about collaboration and generosity. Hashtag grow the pie, celebrated this Thursday. Then we have the C, and the C is for cultivation. Now, you want to be cultivating your professional speaking business. And of course, you can do this in isolation. You just can't do it quite as well. PSASA members get a whole lot more than just information. They get the opportunity to have education and support so that they can succeed. They enjoy free access, not only to this virtual chapter meeting, but as members, they can then also attend a chapter meeting in Johannesburg, Cape Town, Pretoria, or KZN. And more than that, anywhere around the world, if they register, they can be a guest or even a speaker at any Global Speakers Federation member Professional Speakers Association. And inside the PSASA, members can also continue their speaking training. So more than just learning how to make a great speech, but also to run a professional speaking business that is sustainable and profitable in the long run. You can learn how to build your business or empire. And many of our members are already doing that. So this is a place where in the speaker classes that are the launch class, the liftoff class, and even the Luminaries class for existing professional speakers, you can always be developing and learning more. This is a really great opportunity, but it doesn't end there, because this evening you got to hear these incredible Speaker Factor contestants, and every single one of them has already won, because the part of the opportunity is creating that speech, crafting that presentation. But there is more to it, because they are also enjoying coaching from professional speakers inside the PSASA and our global partners around the world. So if you happen to also win a trophy and the opportunity to make a keynote at next year's convention, well, that's fantastic, but it's the cherry on top. Also, as far as opportunities to grow as a speaker are concerned and your cultivation, another wonderful opportunity is the PSASA convention, which happens once a year, and we'll be talking a bit more about that later, but it has been a life-changing opportunity, and we have some of the incredible speakers there in the room tonight. So something to hold on for as we brace ourselves for the Speaker Factor results. And then finally, there's E for ethics. Now, the E for ethics is a really, really important one. You can imagine how important it is to event organizers that speakers behave nicely, conduct themselves like professionals, behave with integrity, and that there are no comebacks of, I heard this speech before, or, oh, they got that fact wrong, or they're twisting the information. These things are requirements for a true professional speaker. But who is there to actually keep that in check out there? Well, the wonderful opportunity is the fact that the PSASA has a code of ethics, and it sets the bar for professional and ethical conducts of its members. This means that as a member, you are really empowered to deliver at a higher level. You know what impeccable integrity looks like. And it shows your potential clients, your audiences, and very importantly, the public, what a PSASA member really looks like. It's interesting to me that when you want to become a member of the PSASA, before doing anything else, before filling in a form, before paying any money, you need to sign that code of ethics. It's the first condition for becoming a member of the association. So speaking of conditions to become a PSASA member, remember my fears that membership would require like this secret society or cult-like level of commitment? It turns out it's not nearly that bad. Now, I have a fair bit of experience with both secret societies and with cults, and here is my observation. I have to say that the PSASA gives you all the benefits without any of the dark side shadow stuff. You don't have to worry about any of the drawbacks of those organizations, but the benefits are so much bigger. The other great advantage is that the commitment level is not that high. So if the only similar experience you have to judge this by is maybe the cult of Netflix, any members here? Or maybe the secret society of Starbucks, the time commitment, even the financial commitment, and you might even argue the effort commitment for PSASA is probably not higher than that. The advantage, of course, no caffeine, no calories, and the return on your investment can be exponential. So if you are here tonight, that is the ace you already have up your sleeve. As a member of the PSASA, you get all of that. So we know we've got A for authority, C for cultivation, and E for ethics, the ace up your sleeve. But tonight we have a lot of existing PSASA members in the room, And my question to you is, do your followers, your clients, your audiences, and the public know that you offer this ACE as a member of the PSASA? Do they know that you speak with international authority bestowed upon you by the Global Speakers Federation and the Professional Speakers Association of Southern Africa locally? Do they know that you are constantly cultivating your speaking skill and your speaking business skills? And very important has to be that it's true, we may have that extra something when it comes to ethical standards that we can guarantee. I'm distracted because I see a debate breaking out about the caffeine in the chat. But, well, you can have your caffeine as well, Tyron. So nobody's going to take that away. The great thing is you can take advantage of both. And Tyron, of course, you're a great example with your long track record in the PSASA, heading a mastermind group and former president, very involved in, chapter president, and very involved in our conventions. So you can have both, very definitely. So if you're a member, are you taking advantage of this? And are you making it public? Remember what authority and gravitas that gives you. But now, if you're not a member, and I do realize we have a lot of guests this evening with Speaker Factor happening, and many of you are just visiting, perhaps you're on the fence, but maybe you're not even serious about speaking professionally. This is not a sales pitch, rest assured. I definitely don't want to push you to join the PSASA, but I do want to mention that although it's not necessary, I sat on the fence for 3 years. It didn't do me any harm. It just meant that as a professional speaker, I could have been making 3 years of progress in that time. So that's just to go to show that when you're ready and you want to take advantage of that ACE up your sleeve, it's there for you. And our members of the PSASA who are here in the virtual chapter tonight can give you a hand. So if you think it's time to get serious, you know where to go. And if you're already a member, you're doing a great job. Make a noise about it. We deserve to see more of it. So, you see, the great news is you don't need to know how to play cards. But now, you know that you can win.